Hi all and welcome back to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. I am going to bring out another mental health vlog right now because, as we know, mental health and awareness is where I lie, as well as my journey with Aspergers Syndrome. So hopefully you'll enjoy some of these. Just let me know in the comment section below. So this is just a follow on to what I've shared about, like the depression versus the suicide series that I just recently made, which I feel to bring out because, as we know, we do tend to struggle of our grieving versus just the thought processes of getting our emotions in the right way of dealing with grief in some ways. I have done one already, but I'm going to say this of what I'm going to share with you all just to educate you all right now, based on hopefully what to say or not to say to someone who has lost someone through a loss, be it through a tragedy, or someone that may have basically lost a pet, or even just here's another example we can bring out to you right now is when someone has passed on from a terminal illness, hearsay. As we know, basically it can be devastating and it can happen anytime, any moment of the year, or any time of the moment of time, regardless. It could be in the here and now that someone is suffering from a terminal illness and they have only certain lives to live, hearsay. And saying this, that it can bring out, basically from what I know of, a state of emotions or a state of overdrive with these feelings and emotions, and take off a roller coaster. Some of us may grieve differently to others, hearsay. And saying this, that I believe that, we can truly comfort and support someone by showing compassion and love to that person, and also in saying this, that we can be genuine despite that sometimes there's also that opposite attract, that what we're doing for that form of support can cause either a barrier or some form of threatening kind of capability, or be it maybe offensive to the one that is grieving. So that's why I'm here today, to try and educate you all here, hopefully. When we hear some of the tragic news, however, be it on the news or the bulletin boards, or even from someone that we know and love, that we care for, we tend to think, what the hell to do, eh? We tend to, most of us, quickly resort to our technological devices, be it our emails, be it our texts, be it our social medias. And in saying this, sometimes we just tend to, for that day when we hear about it or see about the news, we tend to maybe just try to write to use the formality of the emojis, be it hugs or what have you, to show that we're thinking of them or whatever. But sometimes in the way of it, sometimes we don't know how to communicate our feelings properly, right? Sad fact and easy, reality here. This is easy to do, obviously, for these form of technologies, for the form of communication. I feel that while I'm sharing this with you all, however, I feel that we should have more compassion and love for others around us, of what they go through, and hopefully to give them more love and compassion as we have more to give to others, I believe, and not to express simply because we don't know what to say when we're just to some of the nightmares that we go through, for someone to lean on, hearsay, maybe by saying something is wrong, or just playing something that's giving them the silent treatment. I believe that I do have the heart for most people that goes through their tragic experiences, but not in all. So in theory, like for example, if someone came up to me basically and saying that someone has passed due to, maybe hearsay, like someone passed on a terminal illness, be it cancer, or someone that has obviously done it through their mental health, of their depression and stuff, through ending their life that way through suicide, which I humbly apologize in advance if this is touchy. As a disclaimer, there might be some trigger content warning in this video leading on to now until the end of the video, so please bear with me on this front. And I'm no medical doctor, so if you see any warning signs and symptoms based on what I've shared so far in the present videos as well as in the past videos, do seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, as well as maybe seeking advice for yourself or your loved one, because I don't forever condone self-harm. I want you to be happy and carefree from whatever's going on. I believe also that, in saying this, that with this video, it's not going to be comprehensive and set concrete, even though basically this is just the basics of how to, you know, what not to say and what to say to someone who is grieving through a loss, you know, or a tragedy. So hopefully we can learn to educate ourselves and actually learn from each other, hopefully, because there's obviously, as we know, no right or wrong way of dealing with it or giving advice here. So this is just my advice for you all, as well as maybe just a little bit of my experience in between, and I might do a second part if I'm running out of time. So examples are of what not to say or what have you, or what to do to, you know, someone if they share a serious diagnosis. Hearsay is a classic example. I'm gonna don't say, number one, I know how you are feeling right now. Truth is, unless you have experienced it or you've been through it, you can give them enough open arms and open hand of advice, you know, even though that, you know, we might not probably exactly know what they're feeling if we haven't experienced it ourselves. Most people will know you're trying to maybe either emphasize, but and then on the other hand, some other people may take it on board that you're minimizing their own experience of what they've been through. Don't push your own opinions, especially if someone is overwhelmed. This is an important one because, as we know, people grieve differently and the feelings is so overwhelming, and we don't want to be bombarded with advice here, so constantly stopping us, and we need to just basically tap into our own institution and use our own initiative, basically, even though this can be difficult for many of us. And this will depend on the everyday situations of what we face, I believe. Just appropriate maybe some days to say less to the person that is grieving and hold back and listen to them more, maybe in hearsay, just so that they know that you're there to just to listen. Number three, don't share that you knew someone with the same problem issue and, you know, didn't turn out so well. This is a big no-no, as this will bring you not much closer to the person that is grieving, hearsay, to that someone special. I heard that ... died. Your response should be something like, sorry that ... has died. Insert the name. With the name of that person and word death shows that you have obviously shown interest and actually are ready to be open to talk to that person, that, you know. This is also giving them, the person that's grieving, a safety net basically to talk and to also trust you in the surroundings that they're in when they need a listening ear for someone to listen. For the dude, I'm sorry this has happened to you. Offer them words like this: I don't know what to do or what to say, but know that I'm here for you as support. Ask them how they're feeling, even though it may be no-brainer that they're grieving and they're still, you know, angry, upset and all that based on this. Don't forever assume, though, to know that someone is feeling what they're feeling while they're grieving, though, however. Or telling them how to grieve, because obviously, again, that's a no-no, because that grieving takes time for many people, and obviously, you know, there are different stages of grieving, as I said before, basically, and grieving takes time, which I'll insert the stages of grief above me right now. The key here is to just, you know, listen, you know, reach out and offer a loving shoulder to them, and to lean on, to cry on, what have you, or even better still, find a distraction and doing something fun together if they're in the right frame of mind and in the right mood space. As we know, with the person that is grieving, basically they obviously have their own personal struggles with many intense emotions, as well as it being painful of, you know, the memories that maybe is being shared, or just the memories in itself of what may have happened to cause them to grieve a bit longer than expected. Force them to talk. Don't force them to do something that they're not ready for, because obviously at the end of the day everyone's different, and that we know that for a fact that everybody is different in their grieving process. Also here is, don't forever pressure them to actually move on, because there has to be a time and a place for them to grieve. Hearsay is one, is this God's plan. Never forever do that, because obviously it will bring up anger, rage and everything, and then you'll cause a heated debate between yourself and the bereaved. Obviously, you know, they'll probably question you about how is it God's plan, well, why did God allow the person I love and care about died in this kind of tragedy that they died of, whatever it may be, etc, etc. Look at what you've been thankful for while they've been around. Another one is he or she is in a better place right now. And then last but not least is basically this is behind you now. It's now time to get up and move on, or get on with your life. Also, in saying this, don't forget that I have got a merch store that I'm trying to hopefully add a bit more style designs in the next 2 months or so to hopefully help with extra funding, along with the crowdfunding page of basically the Patreon account. For those of you who are new today, Patreon is like a subset account for us creators, be it music creators, content creators that are doing mental health or water form. It is that they're using as a form of the platform on YouTube, Twitch, or wherever else they may likely to fly about. Basically a bit about giving back to you guys when you do support. So if you feel to donate to me, big or small, no pressure basically, but it'd be much appreciated if you did. But hey, this will cover my cost of my rent, the travel when I do some more traveling with Aspie series, or just traveling in general if I decide in the near future to meet you guys. Below down that I've got some projects in the works that I'm still hoping that if anyone wants to participate for project number 1 of the Journey Through the Mind series that you may have seen. Lydia, who was the first participant from Life with Lydia, basically sharing her life story. So I'm hoping to do short blurts of documentary style stories basically based on this, and then saying basically if you want to be on the bandwagon in any way for that, feel free to comment below. As well as saying this, the second project of it was supposed to be an icebreaker for you guys, just to answer a series of questions, and if you do decide to come back for the second part of that Journey Through the Mind series to be a more depth storyline, please feel free, because I'm hoping later today, if all goes to plan, and I'm hoping to maybe get someone on the side to maybe animate them. A heads up, basically I was hoping in the works later today to do a second part of my book that I did based on my life of an Aspie, looking through the life of Aspergers Syndrome or something along those. I'll link the link in the description below based on that as well, so that if any one of you that are maybe autistic and from the autistic community group and you're interested in participating, let me know, so that maybe we can get the ball rolling and get the short stories done and up as well as a third part of my book series, because I'm still thinking that there are certain topics I may have not touched base on from the first part of my book of the Journey Through Life with Aspergers Syndrome of mine. I'm also saying this also, I'm trying to get my blog up to date so I can create it as a website hopefully as of before next year, because that's my main goal. I'm still looking for someone who is willing to actually maybe help me design it from WordPress, to actually put the web address in and stuff and tidy it up so that we can actually put other bits and pieces in that you may want to see on there. As I'm at this point of time been away for a few times too because of the subtitling I'm doing. I hopefully you enjoyed this video, and do what you love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.